Here with UFC President Dana White after a crazy night of fights at UFC 217. You put these cards together, they look good on paper, and then you get nights like this. I mean, how are you feeling after UFC 217?
Yeah, it's, there's something about the Garden, you know what I mean? Every time we come here, it's amazing. But, yeah, I mean, what happened tonight is just another example of what makes this sport so exciting. I don't care what kind of an expert you are or you think you are, you never know what's going to happen.
I got some fight predictions wrong this evening. So let's talk about that.
You and everybody else.
Let's talk about the main event. Georges St-Pierre going out and choking out Michael Bisping, and he dropped him with a left hook as well. It had been 4 years since we had seen Georges St-Pierre. What do you make of his performance? How do you think he looked?
Yeah, it's tough to come back after a 4-year layoff. Very few people have done anything like that. I thought George looked good tonight. You know, you have to remember, Michael Bisping, people say that he's an easy fight. Show me an easy fight that somebody has had with Michael Bisping. He's never an easy fight. He's tough. He comes to win. He's very well-rounded. And George looked awesome tonight.
So what now with George? We've heard that he has a plan. Is he back? I mean, is Georges St-Pierre back? What do we make of him? He's your middleweight champion. What's next for George?
Yeah, he's back. You know, what's next is George versus Whittaker.
Is there any other possible fight that we could see besides George versus Whittaker? Is that something you guys need to go back and discuss? Or that's
No, that fight's done. It's a done deal.
What if he comes to you and says, you know what, middleweight was fun, but I'd like to go back to welterweight, and then I'd like to even drop to lightweight. I want that kind of run at the end of my career. What would you say to something like that?
No, I'm not interested in that. You know, when he came back, we had a plan, we had a deal, and that's what we're going to do.
And you've announced that pay-per-view event in February in Perth, Australia. Obviously, that's where Whittaker trains. Is that where you're targeting the fight as of right now?
I don't know. You know, obviously, you got to see how Georges St-Pierre is feeling. You know, I don't know how the guy's feeling right now. So there's a lot of things that depend on whether that fight will happen soon.
TJ Dillashaw comes back and reclaims his title against Cody Garber, and he had a tough first round. It looked like he was actually even saved by the bell in the first round. Yep. Just your thoughts on that fight in general.
Yeah. Awesome fight. I mean, what I expected. Both guys are super talented and fast, and both have the power to stop a fight. And what made it even better was the storyline between those two and how much they hate each other.
So where does TJ go from here? He and his team have been talking about they want to go to 125. That was discussed earlier this year. Is TJ Dillashaw, Demetrius Johnson, is that a fight on your mind?
I like it. I like it. I'm in.
Is Demetrius in?
Yeah. I haven't talked to Demetrius about it, but I'm sure he's in.
And then last one, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, she came in to this week trying to tie Ronda Rousey's record of 6 consecutive title defenses for a female. It was Rose Namajunas' night, though. What was that performance like watching for you?
Unbelievable. I mean, you know, you don't see a lot of women have that kind of knockout power with that one punch, you know, like Rose did tonight, and especially on somebody like Joanna. It was unbelievable. Rose looked unbelievable tonight.
Dominant champion like Joanna, of course she has to regroup a little bit, but does this situation warrant an immediate rematch, or do you think you'll keep the division moving on without an immediate rematch?
I don't know. You know, there's obviously a rematch in order. You know, Joanna's had the belt for the second longest in women's history, but we'll see. We'll see how this thing plays out.